fact, it'll actually be.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today for the State of the University. We are so grateful you're here and for all the work and the help that you've done to our community, our campus here, and for the students. I feel deeply honored and grateful that I get to be here to introduce Dr. Astrid S. Jimenez, or as I like to call her, President Jimenez. But all the way back in 2018, following a rich and storied career in business, philanthropy, and academia, Dr. Astrid S. Jimenez became the 7th president of Utah Valley University. She's the first woman to serve on a full-time basis as UVU president. She was raised in the slums of the Philippines. Jimenez rose to become a world leader in the fields of technology and political science, most recently serving as an executive at Microsoft. She is also the former Vice Dean of Research and Assistant Dean of Executive Education at the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy, National University of Singapore. Although President Jimenez has all the professional and academic qualifications to be the president of this university, there's one thing about President Jimenez that speaks so much more to me as a student that gives her that extra qualification. And it's the soul and the heart that she has for UVU. You know that anytime you see President Jimenez, she's going to be all in green with her pom-poms, cheering and supporting us. This year, I've had the privilege of getting to work with her hand in hand, maybe more than student body presidents in the past have been able to. In all of our personal conversations, she always reminds me that I am the one that gets to control my future and my ultimate goals. She is a constant reminder that through tragedy and adversity, that we have to dig deep inside ourselves to achieve what we want to and to focus on the goals that we have. So if you guys can join me, we know that she's the biggest supporter of all time, but if we can show our support to her as she enters the stage today, that would be fantastic. So please welcome Dr. Astrid S. Jimenez.
There's a lot to talk about today, and I'm so grateful that you're spending this next hour with me. I want to thank all my friends, colleagues. I believe I have one child in the audience. There! I would. So I want to begin with a Wolverine story that I recently heard from Vice President Val Pearson. It's about our student Morgan Noakes, the second All-American in UVU history in cross-country. She ran the 6K race in 19 minutes, 10.4 seconds. And if you think about being All-American, you are competing in this country where there are 315 teams with 20 runners per team. And you finish number 23. That is a remarkable accomplishment. She didn't start in the front of the pack. She was number 73 at the beginning. And at every checkpoint, she moved forward 8 more places. By the 4th kilometer, I hope I'm getting the story right, she had moved, 24 places. And at the end of it, there she was, number 23 in the country. And she did this 8 months after giving birth to her son, Theo. So Morgan, could you just come up for a second? I think it's a quintessential Wolverine story of surprising people. Grit, strength, speed, surprising people with what you can do. So what were you thinking when you were in the back of the pack?
Well, I was a little bit nervous because you were a little bit far back. But I knew that that was kind of what I was going to do going into the race. I feel like one of my strengths is to start a little bit further back and be a little bit more conservative and work my way up. And so, even though I was a little bit nervous, seeing all the girls in front of me, I was pretty confident in my position at that point because I knew that I was going to continue to work my way up.
All right. Talk about Theo and becoming a mom. By the way, the baby is so well dressed. Look at that. That's from the UVU campus store.
Yes.
The higher fashion. How did you? Can we have him run? Can he stop? So, what were you thinking as you're training and this just gave birth? How did that work out?
Oh, I think I was more motivated than I ever had been to be able to be forced to take a break.
Have that effect on babies.
So I had to take a break from running, of course, to heal postpartum. And it was crazy because I never had done that in my life, take a break from running. I've always been running my whole life. And so I feel like when I got to start again, I got to fall in love with it all over again. Just the process that it takes to work hard and to get better again and gain that fitness. And it was so fun because I got to do it with him. I mean, I was pushing him in the stroller all those miles, and it was just so fun to be able to do it with him. It's been such a journey, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity I've been given to be a mom and to do this.
It's amazing. Let's give Morgan another round of applause. And if you're trying to do hard things in your life, just remember Morgan. Morgan said, she had fell in love with the sport again, right, after being out of it during pregnancy a little bit. And I really love this quote from Khalil Gibran, from the Prophet. Work is love made visible. And if you're lucky like me, you get to have a job that you fall in love with. This was my first semester at UVU. We were clowning around with a photography team. And you can see I was in love with Utah Valley University. What makes this place special? I just want to remind us for a moment about what makes this place special in the community. I think the first thing that makes this place special is the set of values that we subscribe to. Exceptional care, exceptional accountability, and exceptional results. And I hope that you'll all agree with me that in the last 7 years, these values have served us really well. The other thing that we did early in my tenure was come up with Vision 2030. That quote from Einstein, imagination is more important than knowledge, that is so critical. And together with my team and the deans and other leaders, we imagined what UVU could become. We imagined things we had never done before. And we agreed that we would have these goals in mind and try to meet them. So this is another thing that makes us special. But it's not enough to have imagination and a vision. Execution is critical. So we have great leaders here. Our Board of Trustees, could we please give them a round of applause? And we have 5 new members of the board this year: Jared Finch, Kristen Andrews, Brad Herbert, Justin Olson, and Shauna Smith. So welcome to your service, and I hope this will be very rewarding for you as it has been for me. And then, of course, the people I get to whip every day. I'm kidding. I don't whip anyone. My cabinet,
the deans, the associate vice presidents. I believe that this group of people, and you are here, you know who you are, really are the change agents of the university. And I have a lot to celebrate today, so let me get going. Just the numbers. Okay, enrollment, when I arrived, see that number, and that's where we are this fall. We have a lot of students. We educate the most Utahns, and I've told this story over and over that the investments made in UVU are investments in Utah. And in any given year when we survey, between 74 to 78% of our graduates are still here in Utah, working, building families, active as citizens. That dark green, that's the number of Utahns that are at UVU as a percentage of our student body, 94%. And we punch above our weight. If you look at retention completion, and this is in the context of us being an open admission university, we admit everybody. And you see that the national average for retention is 60%. We are in the 70s. And in completion, we set a goal of 45% by 2025, and we hit above that in 2024, a year early. So let's give that a round of applause. My first commencement was in 2019. If you remember, the speakers were the 5 Browns. We had 5 Steinways, and they played the Firebird. And that's the number of students that we graduated. And in 2025, that's our number of graduates. By the way, I love that picture. She's a student from Thailand, and her name is First. First Yongyan. That name doesn't get better. You're first all your life. And High Yield Awards. If you don't know what these are the 4 5-star jobs that the state of Utah considers important for the economy. And for the entire system of higher ed, 76.3%. We are at 82.6%. So a lot of relevance in the graduates that we are producing relevant for the economy. And I've said many times, I've used the phrase the American dream, that the university is a very powerful tool for making the American dream come true. And here at UVU, we do it at scale with a very large student body, 40% of whom are first in their families to attempt college. And you see how many are working, 79% work while in school. And I can't count the number of times I've checked out of Smith's or any other grocery store and somebody says, "Hey, President Tuminas, I'm a student and I'm working here while going to school full time." So there's a lot of grit represented. 21% students of colors, we have adult learners. I think this is the strength of UVU, is really the non-prejudicial approach to education. How many of you love our campus? I want to say, sorry BYU, because you're nestled too close to the mountain. As for us, we're in the valley between the lake and the mountains. And you could just turn around. It's so nice. So we have changed the face of this campus. I'll start at the top there, the Young Living Alumni Center, the Keller Business Building, our multi-million-dollar renovation of the School of Education, the Art Museum at Lakemount, the Bridge to Everywhere, the Norda Center for the Performing Arts, our beautiful stadium. Thank you, UCCU, and Justin Olson, you're here. Our Thanksgiving Point campus, for a lot of our health professions, the Police Academy. I will skip that building there because I'll say more about it. Our Ashton Center at Sundance, and then the Fugal Gateway. But facilities matter, because when I arrived and I was told, "Hey, don't ask for any more buildings." This is 2018. You guys don't need any Taj Mahals. Have you been to the Taj Mahal, guys? How many of you have seen the Taj Mahal? Okay, I've been there too, and I had to tell legislators, actually, we do not have any Taj Mahals. Our buildings are drab, dreary, dark, impenetrable by Wi-Fi. So I just want to say that we deserve these spaces. We deserve sunlight. We deserve goodness and excitement. And these spaces that I think have more room to grow, our art museum, my favorite museums in the world, our house museums. The Frick in New York, the Jacques Martin Gray in Paris, and I think this museum eventually should be just the biggest gem in the state of Utah. And our soccer stadium, I keep thinking UCCU, maybe I should work for UCCU. But this is now the best, one of the very best facilities in the country for soccer. It elevates the experience for student athletes and for those who are lovers of this beautiful sport. The Ashton Center, again, another very special place in Sundance, and I hope that in the coming years we will be able to leverage this facility because it truly is a place for leadership and inspiration. On January 22 will be very important. Chair Scott Smith and Karen Smith, they're here in front. Could you give them a round of applause? We will be cutting the ribbon on January 22. This is state-of-the-art lab spaces, and someone said to me, if you didn't want to be an engineering student, after you see this building, you may want to become an engineering student. Already, this is the largest enrolled college by majors with 6,558 students, and this will be a game changer for UVU. Then we have Vineyard, 225 acres, vision coming from Val Peterson and Matt Holland, my predecessor. Last week, we flew over the land with Rich Linder, who is a big donor and supporter of UVU, and just thinking about what will happen on this land, a health and wellness village, innovation district, our College of Health Professions building, hopefully in this space. Actually, not hopefully, it will happen. Right, Val? So, Val says yes, it will be so. Let me now spend a few moments just talking about the ways that we have innovated and partnered in order to give our students great engaged learning experiences. Just a week ago, we cut the ribbon on the FinTech Center here at the Woodbury School of Business. The intersection, if you're a Venmo user, you understand the intersection of finance and technology, and it's completely changed the field of banking and financial services. So our first supporter is Charles Schwab Foundation, and we hope that other industry players will support this. Kudos to Professor Rachel B., who's in this picture, who really was the key player in making all of this happen. I don't know if Rachel is here. Oh, yeah, she's waving. Okay, please give her a round of applause. Another innovation that's really great for our students is the Chelsea and Casey Bois Entrepreneurship Institute, again here at the Woodbury School of Business. They have many programs. One of my favorites is the Zero to CEO, where you take CEOs who've already cashed out of businesses they built, but their brains are still running 100 miles an hour, and they have all these ideas inside their heads. So you take these ideas, you give it to students, the CEOs mentor them. We piloted it in 2024 with 75 students. From zero to CEO, they went zero revenue to $500,000 in 2024. Our second cohort is 127 students this fall, and in one semester, they went from zero to $1.3 million in revenue. Woo, is right. And I want to thank Seth Jensen, the director. I recently did a podcast with him and one of our students, Hunter Anderton. I don't know if Seth is here. There's Seth, wave higher. And I want to thank Zions Bank. Scott Anderson is here. Zions Bank is now an official sponsor of Zero to CEO. This just goes to show what you can do with talent, energy, and a brilliant idea. And now, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Cue the Bruce Springsteen music again. I don't know what happened. Okay, you want to stand up and music? Guitar. Change my Let's do a Q&A. I'll wave my pom-poms. I bless the projector. What's that? Oh, the screens are dead. Oh, they're fixing it. All right, Q&A. I will just write up my report.
We're working on things. Looks like some things dropped.
Okay.
Maybe a couple of minutes. We'll work on this stuff.
All right. Well, you know, I was joking earlier that with Mr. B, our sound guy, and I was telling him there have been so many moments in my life, and I've been on stage, sometimes with a couple thousand people. This happened in Malaysia, true story. I was working for Microsoft, and everyone was sitting there, you know, waiting. And then my PowerPoint was all gone. And so I did not dance. Malaysians may not like that. So I just entertained them, because I think part of the skill set of a university president is also stand-up comedy. You know, I can talk. Do you want to have Q&A, or I can talk a little bit about things on that? Maybe later, if we can recover it. So let's do a few questions and answers. Yes, Governor Herbert, my friend.
Thank you, President. Remarkable success we've seen here at UVU. It is really hard to believe. And the number of enrollment, I see the numbers going up. Do you see a time in the future when we're going to have to cap enrollment?
Not really. And the reason for that is, 18,000 of our students are concurrent enrollment. So they're in high schools. And what we've done with online has actually been really important. We're actually ranked as one of the best online universities in the country. That's in my report. And the other reason we don't have to cap enrollment is there's actually going to be an enrollment decline. So you have the demographic cliff. Since 2011, enrollment across the country is down by millions. And you have new models of education popping up everywhere. So I think that enrollment actually may have a time when it starts to taper. And for UVU, maybe that's less of a risk because of the vibrancy of Utah County, and also because we have been working with adult learners since forever. So we have welcomed adult learners here and non-traditional students. And we are launching innovative things like 3-year bachelor degrees. So as long as we are offering what the community sees as relevant, I think we will be okay. But I do think that universities have to think about the future and that changing landscape of how students, parents, families want to consume education. It will not always be this traditional university model that we have known for a very long time. Yay! Wow! All right. I lost some time, but I can also speed talk. Another innovation, Collard Applied Institute. This is now has an endowment of over $5 million. And I've said many times at this university that we ought to be the guinea pigs. We ought to be the laboratory. So we are offering not only academic training, graduate degrees, certifications in applied AI, but we're actually deploying it in things like our TA in a box, where students can consult with their TA 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We offer grants to faculty and staff to deploy AI in their courses and in their processes. And things like our people and culture under Marilyn Meyer, we are deploying AI to better serve our employees. Wolverines Elevated. We have the Melissa Nelson Center for Autism, and our grant just got renewed by the Department of Education, $2.5 million. And this is where we help people with intellectual disabilities build a life for themselves, have a degree, and be able to self-advocate better, because they too deserve the best that they can be. Come on, baby, rescue me. Hey, baby, I just need a little help. Can't start the fire. All right. So lots of innovation ongoing. Next question. Chair Smith.
President Jimenez, over the last 7.5 years, you have done an amazing job in setting the trajectory for the university. This is 2026. Okay, it's 5 years before the next before this decade is over. What do you see coming to the university, either planned or anticipated? What's going to happen? What kind of things do you have on the books?
Yeah, so some of the biggest things, I think, in the next 5 years, I mentioned Vineyard. Because this is an unbelievable asset that you have 225 acres that you can design from scratch for, a new way of learning, of doing things, of partnering with industry. So that's going to be a very big one. I am not starting over. This is not Groundhog Day. That I think all of our collaborations with industry, we have to power that up. Eventually, my dream was for every student here to graduate having had an internship or really having done project-based learning. Because today, employers are finding it very hard to find employees who know how to show up, how to collaborate, how to communicate. So I think that's really another big one. Our 3-year degrees will be big. I think that's a continuation of the innovation that we need to have. I am so nervous to start this again. I feel like this is a bad relationship with my PowerPoint because it's showing on that screen. And then I think, frankly, really continuing education with AI. The way that knowledge is going to be generated and disseminated is going to be so different. And when I was at the Washington Post Global Women's Summit a month and a half ago, one of the speakers was the founder of this school in California. They're actually in 4 states. They have no teachers, K-12, tuition $40,000 to $75,000. All the teachers are AIs, are AI, and they have humans, a few humans that function as guides. So I think we're up against this model. So what do you do with the university space, which I still think is just an amazing resource for creating human beings? We give birth to adults here, to humans. And I think in the age of AI, where you need empathy, creativity, humanness, I think the university has to think about a strategy for that. And the Smith College of Engineering and Tech is another big deal for the next 5 years. We're gonna be doing so much in that college with new leadership. Next question. Yes, please. Can you introduce yourself too?
My name is Chelsea Peel. We've seen statistics, all of the changes and growth that you've brought to Utah Valley University in the past 7.5 years. But on a personal level, what has been your favorite moment of being at Utah Valley University?
My favorite moment, I don't think that I have one favorite moment, but I think I've said this many times, that the reward for me of being here at UVU is the students. And I don't think, Kyle, you can fake the love. You don't fake it. I feel it when I am with our students, and to me that's the biggest reward. I remember my first year, just walking up and down the hallways, I would talk to random students and they would tell me their story and I start crying because the story was usually so pithy and so full of, like struggle and dreaming and believing that they can make something of themselves. So those are my favorite moments. I would say that every freshman convocation every year fills me with such joy, and every commencement, because I see the bookends, of the year. So, are there students here? Raise your hand. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. I want to talk about fundraising just because, time is moving, and that's here in my report. When I came in 2018, our endowment was 55 million. And that made me a little sad because of the size of this university. I was at Harvard and MIT and Columbia, and I was even on the board of the Singapore American School, which is K-12, and their endowment was like more than double ours, maybe 4 times. And so in 2019, we launched the first comprehensive fundraising campaign for UVU. And this is unbelievable. Our endowment went from 55 million to 129 million today. Thank you to the investment committee. And we have raised a total of $254 million. So I've sliced that, but did you just hear what I said? $250 million. And I want Kyle Reyes and his team to stand. Thank you. I could not have worked with a better team, and all of that money has gone into buildings, programs, scholarships. It is game-changing. You have to believe that you can raise money. You have to believe that you have a story to tell. And I want to say one more thing about fundraising. I think our new donors, it's over 10,000 new donors. First time to give money to UVU. And when you can persuade, over 10,000 people to give for the first time, that is very powerful. That means that there is something in the story. And I want to give a shout out to our employees, because I think the giving from our employees is over 2 million. Can we please clap for the employees? Okay, this is good. Center for Constitution. I don't know where I am. I don't know what I'm talking about. What day is it today? Center for Constitutional Studies this year received nearly 3 million in new grants. And it's also the 250th anniversary of our Constitution. And these grants came from the Department of Education, the Jack Miller Center, and also the Templeton Foundation. These are very big names in the very big endorsement of what we are doing. So we will be educating social studies and civics teacher, over 1,000 of them in Utah, Nevada. Where's Professor Brockton? Idaho. Did I get it all? Utah, Nevada, Idaho, Colorado. And I just want to say that the center is just so exciting, the work that they're doing, especially given the state of our politics. And if you need any good news or encouragement this year, please buy the book of Professor Greg Jackson from Simon & Schuster. Big deal. And if you haven't listened to his podcast, History That Doesn't Suck, please do so. It is so good. He has millions of listeners. And this book contextualizes all the hard times and struggles in American history and talks about the resilience of us as a people and the strength of our political system. We have a 3-year agreement on AI with an industry player, NVIDIA. We also play well with our sister institution, Salt Lake Community College. We just signed an agreement so that all their students get, if they finish something at Salt Lake Community College, we give them full credit here, and we will even match the scholarship that they have at Salt Lake Community College. About a year and a half ago, I had dinner at home with Mark and Debbie Bingham, and if you know them, they've already been donors at this university. And they said to me, how would you like to have a free medical clinic? There are many people in our neighborhoods who are poor and don't have insurance. And I was like, my gosh, that's what a great offer. So this free community health clinic is in our Orem West campus. Eventually this will expand. This will not only deliver free medical care to the needy who don't have insurance, but will also create, I hope, hundreds of clinical spots for our nursing students, our physician assistant students, our respiratory assistant students. So it's a win-win. And another way that we create engaged learning here at UVU is with the speakers that we bring. Black Eyed Peas, any fans of the Black Eyed Peas? I'm not gonna sing. I met Apple Diab in San Francisco years ago. I was so struck by his story. He was a half-black kid in the Philippines. And if you think racism is only an American problem, think again. Very harsh racism problems in the Philippines. Even me and my flat nose growing up, this was not a good nose. Anyway, his story was so remarkable, and he came here and spoke to our students. And then we had Daryl Davis, who was, played with Chuck Berry, one of the most talented musicians in this country, who's also spent decades trying to get extremists, Ku Klux Klan. He's helped Ku Klux Klan leaders disrobe, and neo-Nazis, and the courage that this man, his intelligence and courage is so moving. And we bring speakers like this here to inspire us. Achievements, very quickly. Okay. We are an opportunity college. This is a new classification, and only 16% of colleges and universities in the country qualify for this. It means that we are open access, and also our students earn. It's about earnings. We have also been selected as a community engagement college, meaning we don't sit in an ivory tower, but we actually engage with our community and the players in our community. I already mentioned our online recognition. We consistently place in the top, like number 1 in Utah, number 5 in the West. And this ranking is all about how much are you earning 6 months after graduation, and how does that compare as a ratio to the tuition and fees that you pay. Okay, this is one of my most favorite things at this university. This is almost as good as beating BYU twice in basketball. This is a cybersecurity contest, and students from our Center for National Security Studies compete. They're all undergraduates. And we have won this twice. It's a multi-day, maybe even a 2-week competition, where you're given a cybersecurity problem, and you have to present to officials from the White House, the CIA, the Department of Homeland Security. And we have won this twice in the country, competing against graduate students, competing against Columbia, Stanford, Duke, New York University, the U.S. Air Force Academy, Brigham Young University. I know my friend Janet Lee Chamberlain is here, whose late husband was president of BYU. I love BYU, I'm a graduate, so. But doesn't that feel good? I always say winning always feels good. And our financial planning program ranked top 3 in the country. Our Society of Human Resource Management students won a competition. I think this was here at UVU. And I was actually asking, are these Utah State students? There's a USU thing behind them, and they're wearing blue. I think as a university, we need to buy green jackets that we loan to all our students who compete, but they won first place in this case study competition. In healthcare administration, again, you're given a problem with involving a hospital in the healthcare system. You have to present a case, and this was at BYU, and we won, and again, we're in blue. This is one of my failures as a university student. I tried with green hair, green boots, and you still have people that did not get the memo. Our students and our Professor Micah Ross, Professor of Biology, were featured in Time Magazine for something called, I think, Operation Outbreak, where you do a simulation of, a pathogen becomes a pandemic, it's spread through the phone, then you use vaccines. It's a wonderful story that went national. We are one of 30 universities that received the UNESCO chair, and our mandate on that, Deputy Provost is here. Kat, raise your hand. Thank you, and to Baldomero Lago. So we're one of 30 universities with this designation. We will be using AI to partner with colleges and universities in developing countries to work on education, environmental stewardship, and sustainability. Our Department of Art and Design, I know Dean Courtney Davis is here somewhere. Thank you. If you're looking for a gift for a wedding, please buy one of these books at the campus store. They're such beautiful books. They got 3 publishing awards, including Best Coffee Book, Best Art Book in the International Book Awards, and then the cover design that our students made also got an award. Yes, WAC Championships. Thank you. This is the latest. This is from the baseball team. I just got this last Saturday. It's about half my body weight. So, there's absolutely no way I can wear this ring unless I'm in a fight. And I can use this. So you see there all of the awards. Maybe I'll just wear it, actually. So congratulations, and our student athletes are amazing. We've also been awarded by the City of Orem, Sarah Bateman, Frank Young, I don't know if you're here, but thank you for the great work. All of our electricity on this campus is from a renewable source, a solar farm, all. We have LEED certified buildings. We have reduced our water usage by a lot. So Val Peterson's team, thank you. Again, people in culture. This is for our fitness program for our employees. You see how fit we are here at UVU. We have muscles. Maybe. There's the fundraising. Thank you. This is my inauguration in March 2019, where I said dreams are free. I learned that as a child, that nobody could stop me from dreaming crazy stuff. And this is, in fact, what we did. Our last President's Scholarship Ball in October raised $1.3 million. And to put that in context, when I arrived, this was raising about $250,000 every single year. 2 years in a row, we raised over $1 million. Of course, we get to feature our talented students, culinary arts, food, and at that same ball, we announced the largest gift from an individual donor, Rich and Marla Linder, and that's where the money is going to go. And we also announced the collard donation. Rich and Marla Linder are really big believers in what we do as a university, and they have a lot of trust in our future. That's from zero to, I said, $254 million. That's a lot of money, Kyle. I think we should go shopping. And there's the 10,491 donors. Oh, I want to show the employee gift too, because that's remarkable. 10,576 employee gifts. Amazing. That's a lot of love for UVU. This is what the money has done, and our endowment value from 55 million to 129 million. A future that's bright because we have, like I said, the 3-year bachelor's degree, starting with a Bachelor of Applied Science in Emergency Services. We've been working with adult learners, as I mentioned, and more of our students in the future, I believe, will be adult learners. And we are launching programs that are relevant to industry and the community that are needed in the state of Utah. And we will be changing athletic leagues. We are moving to the Big West, and this is our last year in the WAC, in the Western Athletic Conference. And the Big West is all California schools. We will basically be known as UC Orem. I don't think our trustees knew that yet, but you heard it here. The story of UVU is going to continue, a story of love, excellence, and resilience, and I hope We all remember these words. We had the tragedy of Charlie Kirk on September 10, and author Arthur Brooks came here and he said, why UVU, why Utah, and what is this moment asking of us? And I know as difficult and heartbreaking everything was, and frightening to be honest, our students stepped up, and one of the best gifts I received this Christmas was from two of our interns, Olivia and Arwen. They took some of these Post-its. This is an art installation with the questions, how have you witnessed kindness in the midst of tragedy? How have you shown kindness? And this just made me cry as I read some of these Post-its from our students. They have very, very big hearts. And we had our comfort animals, our alpacas, the thousands and thousands of flowers that were brought to campus. We had students on 60 Minutes, on opposing sides of the spectrum, showing how you can disagree respectfully, and showing that beyond the disagreement, you must remember you're in one school, you're in one state, you're in one community. And also reminding us that when we vote, there are critical implications for our lives. And we had Senator Mark Kelly here, Democrat from Arizona, Senator John Curtis, Republican from Utah, again modeling what conversation can be like. And this initiative, Our Better Selves for a Better America, I hope very much that for the coming years, this will be a critical part of the UVU landscape. Our students were oversampled in a survey by the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression. And more than 10% of that sampling was UVU, and we showed up as the most tolerant campus in the entire country. And that our students indicated that they would not shout anyone down. Okay, so we're at the very end. I know it's kind of a long presentation. So I just want to end on a personal note. Many of you have seen this picture. There's me as a 10-year-old. There's my neighborhood, my very funky, very cool neighborhood that I grew up in. You know, when you live in the sea, it's pretty amazing. And one of the things I was really frightened of when I was a child was typhoons. Because typhoons are horrendous, tropical typhoons. And your structure is not very strong. And I always wondered if I would live to see another day. And somehow, I always lived to see another day. And I know you're all familiar with so many storms in my life this year. Some of it very public, some of it very private, all of it very crushing. And I like this quote from the writer, Haruki Murakami, one of my favorite authors, from his book Kafka on the Shore, where I'll just read it to you. Once the storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure whether the storm is really over. But one thing is certain, when you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. That's what the storm is all about. And I don't think I'm the same person from last year's State of the University. And I want to announce today that I am leaving UVU. So, I cried a lot last night, so I'm not crying today. I am leaving UVU. This will be my last semester. Effective May 1st, 2026. I will be, I don't know where I'll be, to be honest, but I think that's also a good thing. You know, a little bit of a leap in the dark. And I just want to tell you how my heart is full of love and gratitude, for truly this place has meant everything to me. And I want to say thank you to my family. That's the family that arrived here before I started the job. As you can see, we were all trying to look good in green. I owned one green dress. And I'm going to ask for reimbursement, Chair Smith, for the outfits I bought over the years that are all green. And my son Leo was 8. He's now 16 and drives his own car and aims to find a girlfriend this year. He said he didn't want my help. My son Whit is finishing his second associate's degree this year. My daughter, Michael, just got engaged last Saturday. And I want us to just have a moment for Jeffrey Stewart Tolk, who passed away on February 5. If you knew Jeff, you knew how much he loved UVU and taught here and supported everything we did here. On the right is a picture of the worst person to fish the Provo River. I've gone 6 times and haven't caught a fish. But I put that on there because I think we need to remember that the flow of life always goes on. And that I hope everybody here remembers what this university is about, that the momentum is tremendous. And it goes on without me. I just don't know if your next president will be a dancer. Sorry, but you can invite me back. And this is our home, our collective home, and I hope always will be a home for all of us. So with that, I want to thank you and say how much I have loved every day here. You.